It's time to hit the road and discover Texas with Annie Studebaker. Get ready to travel deep into the heart of the Lone Star State, meeting friendly folks and exploring fascinating places. Experience a way of life like nowhere else in the world as we uncover the rich history and culture of Texas. Discover adventure, discover excitement, discover Texas with Annie Studebaker.
Today we will be visiting Chuck and Delphine Taylor, the proud owners of Texas Exotic Fruits in Raymondville, Texas. They introduced me to a very unique fruit called Pitaya, more commonly known as dragon fruit.
Tell me a little bit about Pitaya, also called dragon fruit, and why the name change?
Well, the name change, first, both Papaya and dragon fruit are the same thing. Pitaya is the Mayan name for a cactus fruit that grows indigenously, actually from our backyard all the way into Costa Rica. Now, it's a crop that a long time ago when the French were in Mexico, they took a specific liking to it. And when they left Mexico, they took the Pitaya with them to Asia. When they colonized Vietnam, they introduced the fruit. It became very popular according to the histories by the ruling class. And now if you go all the way up to Beijing in a five-star hotel, they'll serve it to you for breakfast. It's a very popular crop. And we use that in our marketing because the local population generally hasn't heard of Pitaya outside of some of the older folks. But the Chinese, the Indians that have moved into our neighborhoods, they love it. And we see that as an excellent way of getting the crop into the marketplace.
Very interesting. And tell me, Delphine, is it nutritious?
Oh yes, look at this color. It's dark purple. The darker the color is, the more high antioxidants it is to our body. So, and the seed inside that you can see that it's very good for our digestion systems. And it's crunchy, and so when you have a very good digestion systems, you detoxify your body too. So it's very, very good for your body and for your juice.
But for diabetics, let me add, like myself, it's a indigestible sugar, which allows you to eat it and not have to worry about a sugar spike.
So we're talking medicinal purposes here.
Well,
This is
medicine
great.
you can enjoy.
That's great. I have a dehydrated slice of pitaya. Now tell me, what all are you making out of this fruit?
We're making ice cream. We call it Purple Bell. It's a very delicious ice cream. We have juice, as you see here on the table, but mostly we sell the fruit as fresh fruit. During the 5 to 6 month fruit season, we are selling fruit as fast as we can pick it.
And when is this fruit
It
season?
starts in June, and we sell past Thanksgiving. We hope to keep extending that a little bit as we get to know more about the crop.
Interestingly, that that the kids love it, and that's why the parents keep buying and buying, because kids not only looks very, very pretty, the fruit, the kids love it and they like to taste it. And so, our market is very good.
Very interesting. There are different colors of this fruit. I've tried the pink one, the very bright pink one.
Okay, I didn't know that you had.
Yes, I have. Someone brought it to me that they purchased it here.
Right.
And it was so good. I just had one, and I met my husband in the restaurant, and we had to slice it and give it to the owner of the restaurant, the server, we had a blast, but everybody got to try it, and let me tell you, it was very, very tasty.
Well, the pink, we believe, is some kind of a natural cross between our purple, or magenta for some folks, and our white.
I have this dehydrated version of pitaya. It's a small version. How big did this fruit get? You said about a pound, right?
They can get a pound to a pound and a half.
So this is a smaller one.
And usually the purple is sweeter and people will want the purple one more. But the white one have its distinguished taste also. So you can develop the taste for that. But in the market usually you find the white one. But we have a lot purple and pink ones, so it's really, really good. Yeah.
Chuck, tell me what we expect to see when we get there to the pitaya house.
It's growing like a hothouse, and in another month we'll be taking the plastic off and preparing the crop for reproduction. It'll start sending out buds on the vine, and it takes about a week for that bud to then just blossom forth. Of course, you've got to be here at 3 o'clock in the morning just to get the full effect of the bloom, but there's an aroma. The moths do the first job on pollination. The bees come in at dawn and finish the job, and the flower is collapsing by 10. The Chinese will gather the blooms and stir fry them, but it takes about another month to 40 days to get the fruit to harvest.
So the flower blooms at night.
Mm-hmm.
It closes up during the day.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna have to visit this farm at night.
When the Taylors invited me to see their pitaya farm, I had no idea what it would be like. This amazing production is unique in South Texas. When we got to their farm, I could see rows and rows of this fruit-bearing cactus. The way these spiny plants are displayed give it an authentic tropical feel. The plant grows easily on a vertical trellis, be it tree, bamboo stick, or anything else it can cling to. Planting 1 to 4 of these plants on a single vertical trellis and clipping and guiding the shoots to grow vertically until it reaches the top of the trellis will allow the plant to grow many shoots that will hang over the top, creating a palm tree effect. I really like the way this looks. This would make a great conversation piece in any garden.
To propagate vegetatively, you take a healthy stem like this. Another 2 or 3 months, you'll start to see swelling in these lobes, and then you'll have a little bud that comes out about like the tip of your little finger, and over a week's time it will just expand until it's about bigger than your fist. And you'll come in here one morning, and this place will just be all white and very aromatic. But it flowers at 3 o'clock. So we've got 3 houses here. All of this will be trimming it as we need to, but this will be going into fruit, harvesting sequences in early June.
You have a lot of pitaya plants here. How about telling me about a little bit about how this trellising is set up?
Well, we didn't want to come in and have to replace trellising every year or every 2 or 3 years. And we are also very conscious that if you put stuff like treated and so on, you don't want a succulent growing on that type of wood. So we have our own wood here. This is Canaf decking boards that we grow and manufacture right here in Willacy County.
What is Canaf?
Canaf is an annual hibiscus, close relative botanically of okra, member of the cotton family, or the same family as cotton, the Malvaceae, and it. Like cotton and okra, it came over from Africa a long, long time ago.
This board looks very interesting. Is it sturdier and it lasts longer than treated lumber?
Yes, we take basically we take the T-tape and polypipe that farm. You know, when it gets plugged up, we can grind that up to get our polymers, and we mix that with the canaf fibers, and we get a very strong board.
And what type of irrigation are you using here? I see, what, half-inch lines?
Yes, we some of the T-tape we don't grind up. We've put together with an old tanker truck our own very crude irrigation system, but we like to keep the Pitaya moist. It's on a canaf composite, or I mean compost bed, and so it's a lot of organic material. The roots of the Pitaya just love it because they're very superficial roots. They don't go down very deep. They stay in the surface, so you need to have something that holds moisture. And our compost does a great job of that.
How old are these Pitaya plants?
We transplanted these here 2 years ago.
And you think they'll last how long?
Oh, they could last 50 years, but in terms of production, we'll probably phase them out after about 6 years, because believe it or not, one of these stems, or leaves as we call them, can produce up to 25 fruit. And
Not just one plant, you're talking about one stem?
right.
That's a lot of fruit.
And that's a lot of wear and tear on the botanical structure there. So we look at it and say, you want to produce these, and then you know, phase them out and bring in fresh material. Obviously, every year we're creating more vegetative material.
This structure is like oval, high-rise, full of plastic. Tell me, what about the heat? What about the heat here? What happens
Well,
then?
as we know from last year, it can build up. We'll be taking the plastic off in February. The plastic is on right now just to keep us from getting hit by a cold wave that takes temperatures into the 20s. You take temperatures into the 20s and you'll get burns on these. I think here's some damage right here, and
From the freeze?
yeah,
From the
it
cold
will
weather?
survive most of that, but you don't want the damage, because then you get less production. So we'll take the plastic off. We'll replace it with bird netting, because honestly, our biggest problem is birds. They love this stuff. We call them our fruit inspectors, because they only get the best. And it's amazing what a flock of birds can do to you overnight. So we'll have bird netting when you come in June. We also have to keep electric wires around, because one morning we opened up and the possums had played Animal House in here, and we probably lost over 300 fruit in one night.
Now let's talk about this unique flower. It's large, beautiful, and fragrant, but the bloom only opens at night. That's why it's also known as the Queen of the Night. And there's more. This bloom only opens once. Yes, you heard correctly. Once this flower is open, it invites its pollinators in. Then in a few days, the fruit begins to grow. We had to go see this bell-shaped flower in action, so we packed our gear and captured the Queen of the Night at its best. It was a spectacular display of flowers.
We're here today with Larry Delgado. He's the owner of House Wine, and he is going to show us how to prepare pitaya. It's also known as dragon fruit. Tell us a little bit about what you're preparing
That's right.
today.
Well, good morning, Annie. Thank you for having me. Dragon fruit is such an incredible fruit. It's something that's coming up. It's in popularity right now. It's known as superfruit because it's so high in antioxidants, very high in vitamin C, lots of nutrients. So what I like to do is keep it in its natural state as much as possible. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to make a cold salsa using the dragon fruit, some tomatoes and ginger, and we'll toss that with a little arugula and top it off with some sautéed shrimp.
Ah, sounds exciting. Let's get started.
All right. All right, so first off, for the salsa, we'll start off with a little bit of ginger. We'll just peel some of the skin back here. It's a neat little trick if you hadn't worked with ginger before.
No, I've never seen that done. That's great.
Yeah, you can take a spoon or a measuring spoon or pretty much anything with a dull edge and skin it.
Wow, interesting.
And then just cut off what you need here. We're not going to use too much. Let's get a nice fine dice on this. If you have dried ginger, and you know that works just as well, but I think fresh ginger is the way to go.
Interesting.
So we'll get that in our bowl there. Slice of lemon.
Well, it's going to be pretty savory.
Oh yeah, it's going to be sweet and tart. And I understand the flesh of this particular dragon fruit is red.
Yes, this one's red. Huh?
So then it's going to have a lot more flavor than the white
Yeah.
the white flesh.
I
Is that
hear
right?
there's white, yellow, pink, and bright magenta red.
Right.
So this
Well,
is
that's
interesting.
incredible. I'm happy to honestly, I haven't worked with red dragon fruit before. Everything that I've gotten to date has normally been the lighter colored
Oh, how
flesh.
great.
So I'm excited to taste this. We'll add a little olive oil. Give that a little stir. And get right down to it. So dragon fruit is best working with it while it's a little bit chilled. The flesh will firm up and it'll make it easier to dice. So we just split this right down the middle.
Oh, that is so nice. And
that.
oh, it's
That is
beautiful. It looks kind of like, it's got little bitty seeds, kind of like kiwi.
That's right. Yeah, the flesh is a lot like kiwi. The seeds, although you see a ton of them in there, they're not going to bother you.
No, not at all. I've eaten
just they
dragon
might have
fruit.
a little bit of texture to them, but it goes down just as well with the rest of that fruit. We'll just take a spoon and run it along like you're pitting an avocado. And wow, look at the color on this.
Look at that. You make things seem so easy.
Well, a little practice, and you can get this down. Look at this.
Look at that. Oh, and it's juicy too.
Oh yeah. I didn't quite get it all the first try, but it's going to work.
Excellent. Look at that. Wow.
So again, if it's chilled, we can just run our knife right down through it. It stays pretty firm.
So now you're just going to dice it and put it in the bowl.
Dice it in a bowl.
Great.
Add a few tomatoes here. The tomatoes will complement the texture of the dragon fruit and give the salsa a nice color. We're just going to split them right in half.
Wow, the colors in this salad is beautiful. Interesting. Okay.
All right. So what else we have up here? Got some radish.
Oh,
Just
give
take
it
the
a
radish off, give it a little spice.
A little bite to
Yeah.
the salsa, huh? This is great.
Now all we're looking for is really thin slivers here. It's going to add, again, a little spiciness to to our salsa there, and a contrast of texture. So I have a little crunch to it.
Oh, wow.
Okay. And we're gonna finish that off with a little
Cilantro.
bit of cilantro.
That is great.
Give that a chop. All right, stir this up. That is just beautiful dragon fruit there. My goodness.
So bright. So beautiful.
I have to taste it. I'm sorry.
Delish. All right. Okay, here I go. That's what I wanted.
That's fantastic. You know what I'm going to do is
Oh,
add
that's
a touch of
delicious.
salt. That's going to help brighten up those sweet flavors.
It was just perfect. My goodness.
We'll
that-
let this sit.
The ginger's giving it the special taste.
Absolutely, yeah. And, you know, if you let that refrigerate for a couple hours, all those flavors will meld together,
Wow.
and we'll have a really nice salsa there. We'll let that sit for a little while. Let's sear up some shrimp, and then we can get it all plated.
Okay. How exciting. Now we're getting ready to assemble this whole thing, and I believe you need to take care of that shrimp first. Tell me what you're going to do.
That's right. Well, I'm just going to lightly season this with a little salt and pepper, saute it with some olive oil. And if you notice, you know, we have these beautiful husks here of the dragon fruit. It's a very thick rind, so it makes for a perfect vessel to put your salsa back in. That's what we're going to do. We're going to refill these with our salsa and our shrimp and make a nice little salad there.
And we'll have a little bowl there.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what? Even after we finish that, you can even, you know, wash it again, put it in your freezer, save it, use it for ice cream bowls, just about anything. I love these things.
That's true. I'll have to try that. Okay.
All right, so we'll get our shrimp going. This salsa, I have a feeling is going to be good for any seafood.
Yum.
That would be great on the top of fish with, maybe some sea scallops.
That sounds good.
Of course, if I do say so myself, it's pretty delicious as it is.
Yes, it
You probably
is.
just eat it with a fork.
So you're putting salt, and then you're adding olive oil
A little salt and olive oil.
and pepper.
Touch of pepper. We just turn those a little bit.
Yummy.
Take our skillet. And wait for that olive oil to heat up a little bit. Our oil's hot back here, so we'll just add these shrimp in. The sizzle.
Ooh, I hear the sizzle.
These won't take long. And when you're cooking shrimp, you want to be sure not to crowd your pan.
Because it gets watery, right?
Right. You know, as it cooks, it releases steam. And if they're too close together,
Yes.
you end up with a soggy shrimp. What you want is a nice, crisp sear
Okay,
on that.
okay, great advice. And that won't take long to cook.
Not at all. What's important to note, I think, also that if you're going to cut up some dragon fruit, you might want to use a glove, because it will stain your hand.
Yes, that's pretty bright red.
That's right. All right, these are ready.
Oh, wonderful.
Set those aside and allow them to cool, and we'll get these set up and ready to go.
How exciting. You've cooked the shrimp, we're getting ready to assemble the stuff, and I get to taste it pretty
That's
soon,
right.
so tell us what's going on.
So our salsa's ready, our shrimp's cooked. We're gonna take a little of the arugula. It's gonna add a little spice to this dish here. We'll set this on the bottom of our little bowl here.
Oh, and arugula has a bite to it. It just,
Yeah, that's gonna complement
Amazing.
the sweetness here really well. Take some of this salsa.
oh, great.
Fill our bowl.
Boy, that looks great. Look at the rainbow of colors.
We're gonna take a couple of shrimp. Top them off, just like so.
Oh, he's interlocking the shrimp. That's neat idea. I've never seen that. Wow. Wait till I go home and show my husband. I can interlock shrimp.
shrimp really like each other. All right.
Okay, Larry, let's get a couple of forks. I can't wait to try that.
Yeah, so there you have it. You have a really spectacular presentation there.
Thank you.
Can you imagine a platter full of these for a group coming over for a cocktail party or something of that nature?
Beautiful. Look at
And you
this.
just pick it right up and eat it just like that, right out of the...
Okay, here goes the shrimp. Mmm. That's real good. Now, the dragon fruit. Oh my goodness. I could taste the dragon fruit. I could taste the cilantro, the ginger. Oh my goodness.
These flavors
Excellent.
just work really well together.
Excellent.
Thank you.
You nailed it. Thank
Thank you.
you for showing us how to prepare pitaya in a different way.
It's my pleasure.
In addition, the nutritional benefits of this fruit make it a very popular choice among health-conscious people. Not only is it rich in fiber and minerals, but it also contains lycopene, a natural antioxidant known to lower blood pressure and fight heart disease and cancer.